Hello everyone, this is Termuse, and today I'm playing Doki Doki Switcheroo, which is a genderbend mod for DDLC. I haven't done any streaming in ages, and decided to... I mean, I haven't done anything with DDLC modding scene in a while either, quite frankly, and but Switcheroo is one that I've been... wanting to get to at some point. I was looking forward to it coming out at one time. In fact, I helped proofread one of the earlier drafts, and someone mentioned that my name was in the credits, so I was like, uh-oh, I hope this is something I want to have my name attached to. Just kidding, I'm sure it is. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, start a new game. Oh, just launched into it. Didn't ask for any name. I wonder if it kept the persistent data from the demo, because I played the demo a while back. Is it gonna have my name as Termuse or something? Anyway, okay, let's go on. I wake up to the sound of rhythmic pounding on my bedroom door. Hey, Tormusa. Okay, yeah. It must have kept the persistent data from the demo. Shoot. Okay, well, I entered my name as Tormusa back since I'm playing as Femc, the female MC. Hold on, let me just bear with me. Just moving windows around so I can see the chat. Maybe I can. Can I shrink this down a bit here? Ooh, I hope that didn't... sorry. Technical issues. Uh-oh. Oh, now I'm done it. I'm a professional, I swear. Not really. How do I... Okay, hold on. If I just shrink this down this way like that, I can make it fit there. And then, okay, there we go. Now I can. I'm told that professional streamers have like two monitors. One that has the chat on it, and the other has the game. I only have one monitor, so I have to like have it in windowed mode and shrink things. And hey, Marcy the Moth is here. Hey, remember me? Yes. I do recall chatting with you. I refresh my memory. Where did I see you before? Anyway, let's get started with this. Hey, Tormusa, wake up, dummy. We're gonna be late again. The voice belongs to Satori, my neighbor and best friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you do everything with and know everything about. Satori and I walk to school together every day. Well, some days we run to school. Starting around last year, Satori began oversleeping, and this habit has only increased in frequency over the months. On the other hand, I have always overslept, often to the point of missing school. So, since Satori wakes up first, he makes sure to come and get me. So yeah, this isn't just a gender bend. There are also some other traits. Like they changed the nature of the friendship between MC and Satori. Well, Satori. They changed the nature of their friendship a bit. And apparently, FMC is the one who oversleeps. Anyway, moving on. Sure, we both end up being a little late, but at least we get there. I groan and bury my face in my pillow. Come on now. Don't make me come in there and drag you out of bed. Fine, I'm up already. Wearily open my eyes and sit up. There's Femc's room. I noticed the time on my clock. Damn, should have been up the door 10 minutes ago. I swiftly kick off my covers and tumble out of bed with a loud thud. I hurry to my feet and run into the bathroom. Within 5 minutes, I'm showered, have my teeth brushed, and my hair pulled haphazardly into a messy ponytail. I hear nothing on the other side of my door as I fumble into my school uniform. I assume Satori is already waiting outside. I finish pulling on my socks, slipping on my shoes, grabbing my book bag before flying out the bedroom door. Wait, out the bedroom door? Didn't you just say you went to the bathroom? From the turquoise there. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember now. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. So I should grab my, playing out the bedroom door. Before I know it, we collide and crash down the stairs. Our book bags spill papers and books everywhere. I land on top of Satori's back. We both remain still for a moment, absorbing the shock and pain of the fall. Thankfully, nothing is broken. I thought you were waiting for me outside. I was going to. I really was. Ooh, and now I regret not doing it. We both whimper in pain as I push myself off Satori's back. After slowly helping each other up, we start collecting our papers and books. I thought that... Because she went out to the bathroom and then came back in, and I guess Satori was on the other... moved to the other side of the door in between there? Okay. Anyway. Quickly replacing them into our respective bags, we head out the door with less skip in our steps than usual. We walk across the street together and make our way to school. I look over at Satori, who is cheerfully walking next to me. He's always had a jovial disposition. Sure, he has his occasional cranky moments, who doesn't? But most of the time he's as chipper as he can be. He seems to be in a good mood today. I pitifully bump into him. Oversleeping again, lazy bones? I'm lazy. What about you? You were up all night playing video games again, weren't you? There's a little sass in his tone. I like it. Maybe. He growls and shoots me a glare. I smile to myself. He gets mad over the dumbest things. It's not funny. Those things will rot your mind. You should probably read more. I mean actual books, not video game text. Reading books? Is that our random menial argument for the day? Okay, whatever. So you're not mad at me because you have to wake me up in the morning? You're mad because you want me to read more books? Huh? I'm not mad. I'm just looking out for you, that's all. So what else is new? Sometimes I think he worries a little too much about me. I know, buddy, I know. I appreciate it. I can see his face and body relax at that last comment. We continue to make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Termisa, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I'm not joining any clubs. Why do you think I'm looking at clubs when I didn't even join any last year? Eh? You told me a couple of weeks ago you were going to look into joining a club. Don't you remember? I sigh. I vaguely remember discussing something about clubs with him. I agreed only to appease him, but can't see myself joining any clubs. Not because there's anything wrong with being in a club, but because I tend to spend most of my after-school time in detention. I'm not a bad girl. I'm not. But I do get into trouble for various non-violent reasons, like drawing on desks, getting caught sleeping in class, and occasionally vulgar language. I get kicked out of a club faster than I could join it. Club meetings are always held after school, and you know my after-school time is, more often than not, occupied. That's exactly what I mean. Joining a club would teach you responsibility. Your behavior might improve if you know you have to attend club meetings so you don't get kicked out. Satori suddenly gets very serious. I just want you to have a lot of great options for the future. I'm worried you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Happiness is really important to me, you know? Thought I'd be becoming a NEET in a few years worries me to death. You trust me, right? Please don't make me keep worrying about you. I smile slightly. It is rather endearing how concerned he is for me. He's right that I could use some socialization as well as some discipline. I don't know why Satori had started oversleeping when he did, but I've been oversleeping for years because I spent most of my nights obsessively playing video games. Just have zero motivation to stop being so lazy. I sigh. Maybe it's time for me to stop looking for shortcuts and really take something seriously. You're right, Satori. I do need to socialize more and start being more responsible. Wait a second. Suddenly recall that Satori had recently become vice president of a club. If I joined his club, perhaps I could be afforded a few passes on days I might be late because I happened to get detention that day. And this way I'd be in a club, like Satori wants, without having to worry about being thrown out for even the smallest offense. And knowing myself as I do, breaking a rule or 6 is a guarantee. Incidentally, how's the music volume? I only have one viewer right now, but let me know if I need to adjust anything. Sorry, bear with me. I'm just gonna. I'm just trying to draw a little more attention to the stream. This is still, sorry, bear with me here. Everything is good? Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure, like, this is set to public, right? Okay. Anyway, yeah, knowing myself as I do, breaking rule or 6 is a guarantee. I smiled broadly. Where do you hold your club meetings? My club? You want to join my club? Satori beams at me, gushing excitedly. Well, it would certainly be the first club I'd like to check out. You don't mind, do you? No, not at all. In fact, I'm so happy you want to check out my club first. I think you'll really like all my friends. And they'll really like you too. Settle down. I'll meet you in your club room after school. This is going to be awesome. You better not get detention today or I'll be super disappointed. Don't worry, I'll be a good girl. He tells me where to find the club room and we head inside, miraculously making it to class just before the bell. School day is as boring as ever, and after what feels like an eternity, it's finally over. Got yelled at a few times, but managed to avoid getting detention. It's time to check out Satori's club. As I slowly pack up my things, a thought occurs to me. I never even bothered to ask what Satori's club was all about. I lower my brows as I get up from my seat. Wow, that was incredibly dumb of me. I leave the classroom and make my way across the school. I head upstairs to a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. I find the correct room number and swing open the classroom door. Hey guys, the new member is here. I give Satori a light smack on his arm. Don't call me a new member yet. I glance around the club room. Eh? Welcome to the club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Satori always says such wonderful things about you. Seriously? You brought a girl? Finally, it's been a total sausage fest in here. All words escape me in the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute guys. I feel warmth rush to my cheeks. Natsuko, don't be rude. You're embarrassing her. She is a lady, after all. Lighten up, will ya? She looks like she can take a joke. How many times do I have to tell you? It's Natsu. The feisty little dude, whose name apparently is Natsuko, isn't that a girl's name? No wonder he doesn't like to go by it, is one I don't recognize. His small stature makes me think he must be a first year. Must have caught me looking at him. He turns to me and smiles amorously, puffing out his chest. Like what you see, huh? Feel free to sample the merchandise. Wink. Oh boy. I give an awkward smile. He's cute but a bit obnoxious. Must be due to his age. Don't mind that. You can just ignore him if he gets too annoying. Satori says that quietly into my ear, then turns towards the other guys. This is Natsuko, always full of energy, and this is Yuri. He's the smartest one in the club. And that's a kind thing to say, Satori, but it's a little embarrassing. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid than Natsuko and Satori, seems to have a hard time looking directly at me. Must be a shy guy. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. Well now, what have we got here? Hello, Toymusa. Long time no see. Ah, crap. Huh? Sounds like you already know Matthias? Yes, we've spoken a time or two. Isn't that right, Toymusa? Matthias smiles arrogantly. Ugh. I do know him. Well, we're not friends. We were in the same class last year. He's always unbelievably arrogant. I wonder if his attitude has changed at all. Ah, hey, Matthias. He chuckles. I'm actually surprised to see you here. This is just a quick visit. A quick visit, yes? Surely you have somewhere else to be right now. Yep, still as douchey as ever. He's always looked down on me like I'm some kind of idiot. Okay, fine, he's really smart. No need to be a jerk about it. I'm sure his behavior is the direct result of how he's treated. Everyone acts like he's a prince who can do no wrong. This is likely due to his looks. He may be a colossal ass. I'd be lying if I said he wasn't a stunning specimen. Being so smart, handsome, and athletic, it's easy to see why he thinks he's out of everyone's league. I invited her, Matthias. She's looking into possibly joining us. Joining us? How curious. What made you consider our club, Tormusa? I hesitate. Can't very well be honest about my original motive, which was essentially to shut Satori up. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Satori seems to really like this one, so... How amusing. But I must warn you, this club isn't for the faint of heart. At least not as long as I'm in charge. Oh, goody. He's the club president. Just my luck. So, you started this club? Indeed. Kind of a unique use of your time, isn't it? I mean, you're a popular guy. You could probably be on the board of any of the major clubs. This is true. But to be perfectly honest, I can't stand the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Starting a new club sounds like a lot of work. A lot of hard work, though. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out the effort to start something new, especially when it's about something that doesn't grab your attention. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival far more important. So, you guys are the only members so far? It's a shame, isn't it? Turns out it's much harder to convince people that literature is fun and worthwhile than I thought it would be, even if I'm the one promoting it. Dread washes over me. This is a literature club? Yes. I try to hide the horror from my face. Literature? Could there possibly be a dollar focus for a club? Matthias stares suspiciously at me. A smile slowly grows across his face. You had no idea, did you? Typical. He then looks quizzically at Satori. Did it cross your mind to tell her what our club was about? Satori merely smiles in my direction. Truthfully, I was just happy she wanted to come by. I see. Well, it was a delight to have you visit, Tormusa. We'd like to commence our meeting, so if you don't mind. I snap back to reality. Whoa, wait. I'm not done in here yet. I'm still curious. Literature is cool, I guess. I mean, Matthias laughs at me in a condescending manner. And look, I understand how literature can be dull for someone like you. It's about self-expression, the ability to create a beautiful and unique work of art using only words. Words that express feeling and meaning. Essentially, it's for people who can understand and appreciate writing. I'm moments away from losing my temper with Matthias. Can't stand being talked down to. But at the same time, I don't want to get Satori in trouble for inviting me here in the first place. I decided instead to play it cool. Matthias may be a jerk, but he seems pretty passionate about this literature crap. I respect that. I never thought about it, but hearing you explain it like that makes it sound like something anyone could get into. Give me a chance to learn more. Please. Very well. We're about to start our meeting. I suppose you can stay and observe. You look so annoyed. Who knows? Maybe you'll find your calling as a writer. I offer him a smile of gratitude despite my overwhelming desire to punch him in the throat. Thanks, Matthias. I'll pay attention and take this meeting seriously. And while we're at it, I'll make some tea. Yuri goes to the closest to the closet to fetch a tea set. I join the others. Hey, new background. They formed a table by pushing a bunch of desks together. The new music is cool too, like the sort of the rock remix of the DDLC songs. It's neat. Anyway, yeah, they formed a table by pushing a bunch of desks together. There's an open seat next to Matthias and one next to Satori. Of course, I take a seat next to Satori. Yuri returns with the tea set and places a cup in front of each of us. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? The teacher gave us permission. Besides, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? Yuri smiles sadly. Not much of a reader, I suppose. Well, that can change. What am I saying? Considering I haven't read anything of substance in months, I try hard to grasp at anything that we can relate to on an intellectual level. At this point, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Suggesting her reading level has hit rock bottom, Yuri. I'm tempted to agree with you. That's not... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. Matthias seems to have enjoyed the unintentional implication of my illiteracy. I'm sorry if I insulted you. You're fine. I really should read more anyway. And hey, a nice cup of tea might help to make it more enjoyable. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to himself in relief. What kind of books are you into, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of his teacup with the tip of his index finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about his reading. He seemed very reserved and timid since I got here, but it's obvious by the way his eyes light up that he finds his comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I do like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I play a lot of horror games. Yes, video games and reading are very similar, aren't they? Hey, some video games require a lot of reading. In some cases, it consists of more reading than actual gameplay. Ha 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 ha. Meta comment. Like this visual novel, for instance, right? Yeah, I was going to comment. A lot of the, there is a fair bit of copy paste from the original game, but there's enough difference. I mean, like this conversation here is. Aside from Matteo's interjections, I don't mean that as a complaint, just as an observation. I mean, there's enough differences that keeps it interesting. Nice work in the artwork too. Anyway, moving on. Let me tell you, some games can tell one hell of a story. Well, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down, regardless of the genre. What about you, Tormusa? What do you like to read? I was afraid of this question. I frantically searched for an answer that's not going to make me look like a complete idiot. Comic books? I stammered out before I have a chance to realize what I'm saying. Why did I say that? It's been a few years since I've sat down and read any of my old comics. Natsuko suddenly lifts his head like he wants to interject, but then he appears to change his mind and remains quiet. Yuri, meanwhile, just chuckles softly. Well, I'm sure if you stick around, you may wish to expand your horizons. I'd love to suggest some of my favorite surreal horror titles if you'd be interested. Yuri sips his tea in a sophisticated manner. I, meanwhile, slurp mine down like a horse drinking out of a trough. Soup's interesting, dude. I beg your pardon? Oh, well, it's a profoundly lazy and uneducated way to say that I'm super interested. Good. So Soup's interested. I don't know. For some reason that it's funny. It's just a funny expression. Anyway, moving on. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Yuri smirks and snickers quietly to himself, obviously amused by my ignorant reply. Why am I like this? Yeah, be nice to yourself. He takes another gentle sip of his tea. Yuri probably thinks I'm an unclassy clod, and he's not wrong. I catch a muffled laugh coming from Satori, who smirks at me from beneath his hand that's covering the lower half of his face. What time is it for you? It's 2:21 a.m. for you. Oh, it's like a little after 10:30 p.m. for me. It's a bit late Friday evening for me. I meant to get to this sooner, but I got distracted by other things. Yeah, hopefully next time I stream, it'll be earlier. But hey, thanks for staying up for this. It's nice to have at least someone watch. I wasn't really expecting there to be such an empty audience, but you know, not that I'm complaining. It's fine. People can watch the recording if they want. So it's cool. Maybe I'll get. Oh, hey! Now it says 2 confirmed viewers. Maybe someone else has joined. Welcome. Feel free to leave a comment in the chat. Say hi. Anyway, Where was I? I catch a muffled laugh coming from Satori, who smirks at me from beneath his hand that's covering the lower half of his face. At least someone is being amused by my awkward attempts at trying to socialize with an intellectual. I give Satori a sharp kick under the table in an attempt to silence his snickering. Ow! What the? Who just kicked me? My face burns as I press it into my open palms. Satori sits next to me, snorting and wheezing, trying to hold in his laughter. I glare at him momentarily before looking apologetically at Natsuko. I'm sorry, Natsu. I was aiming for this cackling hyena. I successfully land the second kick right on Satori's shin. It brings his giggling to a screeching halt. Natsuko's expression changes from confrontational to forgiving. No worries, babe. You can kick me anytime. Oh, great. His arrogance is sort of annoying, but at the same time it surprisingly doesn't distract too much from his cuteness. Do you like horror books too, Natsu? Me? No way. I hate horror. Really? Why is that? I just... Natsuko looks at me like he wants to say something. Who cares? I don't like scary stuff, alright? Jeez, I don't even like being in the same room as your weird novels. Natsuko, you have a pretty big mouth for someone who keeps his comic book collection in the club room. Natsuko shoots a glare at Matthias. Hey, my comic books aren't going to be haunting anyone's dreams anytime soon. Besides, comics are literature too, you know. Swiftly defeated, Natsuko plops back into his seat, crossing his arms stubbornly and looking away. That's right. Childish things are more your style, aren't they, Natsuko? Natsuko instantly snaps his head back to Matthias. What? Where did you get that idea? Well, aside from your little comic book and manga collection, you wrote something on a paper and left it here during the last club meeting. I believe it was a poem called... Yeah, don't say it out loud. Don't read things that don't belong to you. Satori slides up to Natsuko's desk and drapes his arm over his shoulder. Don't get upset, Nat. Nothing wrong with liking kid stuff. I do not like kid stuff. Natsu, you write poems? Well, yeah, sometimes. Why? I think it's super impressive. I'd love to read your poetry sometime. Natsuko blushes and averts his eyes. I don't know. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand Natsuko's reluctance. Sharing one's writing takes more than just confidence. It's a very intimate exchange. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Well, Yuri, sounds like maybe you should set an example for Natsuko and share your own poetry. That way he'll be comfortable enough to share his. With Yuri also blushes and turns away. Looks like Yuri feels the same way about sharing poems as Natsu. Aw, man. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Matthias' eyes suddenly light up. Alright. Well, if that's the case, then I have an idea for an assignment. Tonight I'll go home and write a poem of our very own, then share them with each other at tomorrow's meeting. That way everyone is even. Yuri and Natsuko fidget nervously. Satori suddenly stands up. Yeah, let's do it! Come on, guys. Think of how much we can learn from each other by our different styles. It'll help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. It's a great way to show our appreciation for literature, too. I'm taken aback by Satori's words. Since when is he into poetry? I guess if he likes it, maybe there's more to it than I'm allowing myself to see. Yuri suddenly lifts his head. Satori is right. We could learn a lot about each other by sharing our poetry. After all, the truest form of writing is writing to oneself. I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it too, but only because I want you all to see how a pro writes. Then it's settled. I look forward to seeing how creative you all can be. Matthias focuses on me. So, Tormusa, think you're up for writing a poem to share with everyone? Or is this club simply too boring for you? I lift a curious brow. Part of me wants nothing to do with Matthias or this boring club. Yeah, you know, like, honestly, like, if there was someone talking down to me in a setting like this, I would probably just, I'm tempted just to leave just to spite him. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm not really sure. Matthias smirks to himself. The other three look a bit downcast. Not surprised. I'm sorry, I thought... Oh man. Teresa... Three of the guys stare back at me with dejected eyes. Yeah, Matthias is not doing a very good job of recruiting people to the club. Like, is it just misogyny or what? Anyway, I'm powerless against their bereaved stares. They really want me in their club, don't they? I'm not sure if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature, but damn, why do they have to be so cute? Well, writing poetry is the price I have to pay in order to spend every day with these cute guys. I give a heavy sigh and look back at them with a defeated smirk. Well, I've decided. I'm going to join the literature club. With the exception of Matthias, their eyes light up with excitement. Yeah, man, he's really trying to discourage me from joining. Really? No fooling? You're the best, Tormusa. Satori rushes me and wraps his arms around me tightly, lifting me up and spinning me around for a moment. The gust causes my skirt to flap a bit. Oh no. No doubt giving my new friends a free show. Hey! You scared me for a second. If you just showed up to tease us with your presence, I'd be super pissed. Well, if that's what you choose, it is. Very well. And Matthias says, I try to help a live stream or help a live or stream as much as possible, so I don't have a credit card. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for dropping by. Anyway, moving on. Very well. I suppose we can end this meeting on a good note. Remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Matthias looks over at me once more. This club isn't an outlet to screw around after school. We take literature very seriously. I suggest you do the same. I won't tolerate any slacking off, understand? Matthias' expression and tone are serious. I nod. Don't worry. I won't let anyone in this club down. I sincerely hope not. I look away nervously. There's no way I can impress Matthias with my mediocre writing skills. I can feel the anxiety welling up inside me. All I can do is try my best, I suppose. The guys get to work moving the desks back into place while Yuri gathers up the tea set. Hey, Termusa, want to walk home together? It's been a while since Satori and I have walked home together, since I'm either in detention or he's participating in clubs. Of course, let's go. Alright. With that, the two of us depart the clubroom and make our way home. So, what do you think of the club, Termusa? I look suspiciously at Satori, instantly picking up on his sneaky tone. Now that we're far from school, I can speak my mind. Why didn't you tell me before that your club is full of hot guys? Well, in my defense, they're not hot to me. Fair point. You know what I mean. Satori gives a knowing grin. You like what you see in there? Well, Matthias a jerk. But everyone else is cool. Did you enjoy watching me embarrass myself with Yuri? Now you see why I told you that you need to work on your social skills. That could have gone better than it did. I frown. He's definitely right. It could have gone way better if I wasn't so socially awkward. Yuri probably thinks I'm a total airhead. My feet come to a halt. I look at the ground sadly. Do you think any of them liked me? Bit of vulnerability from Tormusa. Yeah, I was going to comment on that. It's nice that MC or femacy in this case is a little more of a character. And there's, how do I put this? There's a subtle difference in like, you know, the gentle ribbing back and forth between MC and Satori compared to, you know, the original Satori, where it's just a lot of MC being rude one way, with Satori not really giving anything back. So I kind of like that aspect of it. Anyway, moving on. Satori stops and looks at me. He smiles warmly. Of course they did. Believe it or not, Matthias does too. I know it's hard to tell because he can be really snobby, especially when it comes to things he's passionate about, like literature. But trust me when I say he was way nicer to you than he usually is with everyone else. Seriously? Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate. Moving on. I smiled to myself a bit. And once they get to know you and you spend time with everyone, they'll see how wonderful you are, and, well, they'll like you even more. I hope you're right. Trust me. These guys are my friends. I know them and I know what they like. In fact, how about you let me help you? Help me? How so? I'll help you appeal to whichever one you prefer. What do you say? You want to be my wingman? Of course. That's what best friends are for, aren't they? And as my best friend, I just want to see you happy. What I'm going to do is give you helpful tips. For example, Yuri likes big words and anything to do with horror. Not like simple writing using words that are, how should I put this, huge? Anyway, you can take it from there. You don't need my help that much anyway. You're really beautiful and funny. Just tell me who you like and I'll help you get him. I mean, not that I'm interested in him, but what will impress Matthias? Satori thinks to himself for a moment. He'll be impressed by seeing you put effort into this. And so will I. Thanks, Satori. You're the best. My pleasure. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go change out of my uniform, grab something to eat, and I'll be over in an hour. That'll be fun. Fun, nothing. Someone has to make sure you do your homework. Fine, you space cadet. I'll do my stupid homework. You better. See you in an hour. Alright. Love you, buddy. Love you too. Aw. We head to our respective houses. I'd be lying if I said I won't consider Satori in the lineup. I soon find my thoughts shifting between the four guys, Satori, Natsuko, Yuri, and even Matthias. Four very different guys, all interested in the same goal. If I can remain motivated, I wonder if I'll be able to spend more time with one of these handsome fellows. I just have to stay positive and good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Here we go. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. So here we are. I'm going to save it. So, yeah. I have played the demo for this ages ago, back when it first came out. So after this, it's kind of all new material for me. I mean, like I said, I proofread the an early draft of the script, so I kind of know how everything plays out. But there's a difference between like just reading the text and actually seeing it all acted. I mean, poses and expressions and art and music. And this is a nice remix too, by the way. Speaking of the music, it's kind of neat. Anyway, I have to decide which of the three guys I have to go for. There's Satori, Natsuko, and Yuri. I don't know. I was hoping to get suggestions from the audience here. Are you still there, Marcy? Maybe getting one vote is better than none. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could just pick whomever and then reload and pick someone else later, I suppose. Doesn't matter to me? Okay. Well, I mean, in the original game, I lean towards Yuri because I mean, the female version of Yuri, just because I find her the most relatable character. The shy bookworm who has a deep-seated sense of passion, loves fantasy and stuff like that. But whatever. Anyway, I mean, I guess I could go for Yuri. Determination. There you go. Graveyard. Fester. Yeah, he likes the horror stuff too. Melancholy? Uncanny? Incongruent? Vivacious? Effulgent? Uncontrollable? Insatiable? Massacre? I don't know if any of these are, your puppy is sick? Oh no. We'll look after your puppy. Give him a hug for me. Extraordinary? Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be, Okay, so I got one Satori word in there. Meager? Electricity. Maybe I'll get one Natsuko word in there just to just to balance it out. Intellectual. Unrequited? No. Despise? There you go. Incapable. Existence. There you go. 18 out of 20 words for Yuri. Ah. You came back. Yep. Told you I'm serious about this. Might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. The last one to come in and... Wait, what's that smell? Is that food? And thank you for keeping your promise, Tormusa. I hope this isn't too overwhelming a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. I sniff the air some more. There's definitely food in here. I'm positive I smell confectioner's sugar. Where is it coming from? Don't feel too sorry for her, Yuri. Satori told me this naughty girl didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Last year, too. Sure hope you intend on taking it seriously, missy, or you won't see the end of it. Aha! Shorty's got the sugar. I approach him and sniff the air around him. You smell like cupcakes or something? Do you have food? Told you she'd smell it as soon as she walks in. She's got a nose like a bloodhound when it comes to food. Satori playfully leans on me, his arm draped over my shoulder. Aw, man, I wanted it to be a surprise. Natsuko pouts. Trust me, I'm surprised. Also super hungry. I better get the tray before she devours us all. Hey, I brought the milk at them. Natsuko heads to the back of the classroom and retrieves a tray covered with tin foil. And while we're at it, I'll make some tea as well. Whoa. Satori suddenly leans into me and mutters into my ear. Stop sniffing the club members, you weirdo! I need more water. I'll be right back. That seemed like the perfect image to leave on the screen. Anyway, moving on. I give Satori a sniff and wrinkle my nose in distaste. You need to wash your blazer. You need to wash your hair. He gives my ponytail a gentle tug. Hey! Natsuko sets the tray on the desk in front of me and dramatically peels back the tin foil. Ta-da! Whoa! I stare in awe as he reveals a dozen fresh cream-filled donuts. The words Literature Club are written in chocolate icing on each donut. Wow, that's some attention to detail. Anyway, Natsu, this looks amazing. Well, I usually do stuff like this on days we get a new member. But you came in so suddenly I didn't have a chance to. So I figured I'd do it today. Hurry up and take one. Satori and I reach for one. These are awesome. I rotate the donut in my hand looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuko is quiet. I can't help but notice him sneaking glances in my direction. Is he waiting for me to taste it? I end up stuffing the entire thing into my mouth. The pastry is flaky and the icing is sweet and full of flavor. It's delicious. Thank you, Natsu. Satori groans into his hand. Clearly I have learned nothing from our previous conversation regarding my questionable social skills. No need to thank me. I finished chewing and swallowing, my eyes already locked on my next tasty victim. These taste homemade. Did you make them yourself? Natsuko suddenly blushes and turns away, clearly bothered by my question. No way, baking is for girls. My mom just runs a bakery, that's all. So that's why they taste homemade. They are, but I just brought them. No big deal or anything. He mutters that last part. I didn't mean to offend him. I awkwardly stare at him as I grab the other donut and slowly shove that one into my face. So yeah, you can see there's some, there's a bit of foreshadowing going on. Oh, hey, I'm back. I cleaned up the vomit and put the puppy in a different box so the other puppy won't get sick. Aw. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, sorry to hear your puppies are sick, or puppy singular. Hope they're okay. Give them a hug. Puppies are cute. Anyway, yeah, foreshadowing going on that Natsuko has some sensitivity about gender. I mean, there's the comment about Natsuko being a girl's name, and he makes that comment about no baking's for girls, and the fact that he I probably shouldn't get into that. Let's just move on. I awkwardly stare at him as I grab the other donut and slowly shove that one into my face. Satori nudges me. Stop eating! He whispers this to me while giving me an annoyed glare. Don't show me how to live my life! What? My mouth is overflowing with donut. Satori visibly tries to suppress the grin creeping across his face. We both break at the same time and start giggling. I struggle to keep the cream from shooting out my nose. I swiftly grab a tissue from the teacher's desk to wipe the crumbs and cream from my mouth. Don't make me laugh while my mouth is full, Satori. You almost made me choke. Hey, it's not my fault. No one told you to shove that donut in your face like a python swallowing a rabbit. We both start giggling again. It's not uncommon for us to crack each other up like this daily. Yuri approaches with a tea set and hands me a steaming cup. You two are such fun to watch. You really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. No need to be jealous, Yuri. She could be good friends with you too. And I can see you two getting along really well. Yuri even got something for you, Torimusa. Oh wait, Satori. For me? It's nothing, really. Come on, Yuri, don't be shy. What is it? Never mind. Satori made it sound like a big deal when it really isn't. I suddenly gesture with my head to Satori to bug her off. He nods and heads back to his desk. It's time for me to save the situation. Serena, newcomer here. Serena Aduracy, are you okay? Me? I'm okay. I'm streaming Doki Doki Switcheroo. It's the genderbend mod for DDLC. How about you? Are you okay? They look like horses. That's the art style. Anyway, moving on. It's time for me to save the situation. Yuri, don't worry about it. Any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Of course. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Well, alright. Here you go. Relieved, Yuri reaches into his bag and pulls out a book. Jeez, that's a thick book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book I thought you might enjoy. That thing's like 1,000 pages. He doesn't expect me to actually read the whole thing, does he? It's a short read, so it should keep your attention. Short read? Is he serious right now? Looks like Stephen King wrote that tome. Looking at the cover barely keeps my attention. I was hoping after you finished it, we could, discuss it. If you wanted. Yuri smiles bashfully. I sigh. As if he wasn't already unbelievably cute enough. I can't believe he brought me a book he thought I'd enjoy despite me not reading much. Oh hey, we got another newcomer. No touch me, I'm Angie. Welcome. Shimmy shammy double whammy? Okay. I'm not sure how to respond to that. Moving on. What a gentleman. I suppose reading it is the least I could do. This is super nice of you, Yuri. Thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Holy cow, this thing weighs like £8. I flipped to the pages. Oh boy, size 6 font. My favorite. I slipped the book into my bag. Well, you can read it at your own pace. Oh dear. Is Serena how do you pronounce that name? Yes, I heard you the third time you said that. Anyway, moving on. Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone is settled in, I expect Matteo to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, yeah, Serena, sorry, if you're here to spam, I might end up kicking you out. You're welcome to, you're welcome to join in the conversation if you like. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Satori and Matteo are having a quiet conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice his intense expression, like he was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuko is rummaging around in the closet. So I'm presuming I got the Yuri route since, Anyway. Yeah, I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. But at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting him from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of his book. It looks like the same book he gave to me. More than that, he seems to be in the first few pages. Crap. I think he noticed me staring at him. He sneaks another glance at me and their eyes meet for a split second. The only one here? I don't think you're the only one here. It says, it says there are 4 viewers right now. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, so now we got a rock version of the Play With Me song. Anyway. Moving on. He grins sheepishly at me. Hello? Sorry, I was just spacing out, I muttered, sensing I've made us both uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, I wouldn't have noticed in the first place. I'm just rereading some of this. That's the book you gave me, right? That's right. I'm just refreshing my memory by looking through the first few pages again. When it starts to pick up, it's impossible to put down. It's a very engaging story. Oh yeah? Is it a horror book? It is. Cool. What's it about? Well, Yuri closes the book and flips it over, scanning his eyes over the back. The book is titled Wendigo Soul. There's a set of red fangs engraved on the front cover. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give away any spoilers. Basically, it's about this group of teenagers in the Old West. A horror story set in the Old West? That's kind of a weird concept, Yuri snickers softly. I thought it was interesting too. See, the protagonists are the sons of the local cattle barons. Their lives are difficult enough just trying to survive, but things get strange when suddenly people from the town start going missing, and cattle are being viciously mauled in the night by strange, ferocious creatures. As the story goes on, the friendships of the protagonists start to weaken as they struggle with who to trust among them. Spoiled milk? Sorry, I don't know what you mean by that, Serena. Is there a reference or joke I'm missing here? Anyway, I guess referring to the cattle. Anyway, things only get worse when they suspect the killings relate directly to a mysterious girl who lives alone in the woods. That actually sounds pretty cool. I wouldn't say it sounds particularly scary, though. Well, I didn't want to explain it in a way that made it sound off-putting, especially if you're not into that sort of thing. But I am, actually. I love scary video games. I'm sure a spooky book would keep my attention. I'm glad to hear that. Nothing keeps my attention quite like a spine-tingling story. Keep forgetting Yuri's into macabre stuff. He's so quiet, polite, and gentlemanly on the outside, but his mind seems to be completely different. Play MTMB in your next stream? MTMB, is that another mod? MTMB, I'm trying to think what that stands for. Yeah, you'll have to tell. Yeah, I think you'll have to tell me what it stands for. I'm drawing a blank here. Anyway, moving on. See, stories like this challenge you to look at life from a whole new perspective. When horrible things happen, people are quick to point the finger at the outcast and label them the villain. It's easy to fear what one doesn't understand, after all. And suddenly, when you thought you side with the protagonist, since you're Mario the Music Box? Oh, okay. Is that like a Nintendo game? I don't have a Nintendo system. Anyway, I just have a PC. That's it. Anyway, moving on. Then suddenly, when you thought you sided with the protagonist, you realize that your supposed hero is more selfish, flawed, and ignorant than the perceived villain. Ah, one of those stories that make you realize the bad guy had a point the whole time? Precisely. It's that kind of moral ambiguity that truly allows the reader to interpret the lesson in their own way. And you have another newcomer, Dead Skeleton God, Just Matteo. Welcome to the stream. I seem to be playing a Yuri route at the moment. Anyway, let's read interpret the lesson in their own way. Making the villain more relatable than the protagonist really forces your mind to explore a very different perspective than it normally would. It even makes you question the very definition of good versus evil. You're really into this, aren't you? Yuri looks away, blushing. He smiles coyly. Tormusa, I think I should warn you that I have this problem. Oh, it says Mario fan game from 2014? Okay. Mario the Music Box. Okay, I'll keep in mind. Moving on. I think I should warn you that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I tend to get a bit too overzealous. So I'm sorry if I end up acting strange or if I talk too much. Don't sweat it, big guy. It just means you're passionate about your reading. This is a literature club after all. I can sit here and listen to you talk about reading all day. In fact, he had 2 copies of the same book. It's obvious what he wants. I reached into my bag and retrieved the colossal compendium. I may as well get started on reading it, right? You needn't feel obligated to do so if you really don't want to. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you. Nonsense. Of course I want to. In fact, why don't we read it together? Can I sit here? I slide into the seat next to him. If that's what you choose. His apprehension suddenly dissipates and he visibly relaxes. Of course. I'd pull the seat out for you, but they're attached to the desks. It's okay. I appreciate the gesture, though. Yuri smiles. I'm not used to reading in company with someone. This promises to be a delightful experience. He seems excited to get started. Well, I'm not exactly used to it either, so let me know if I end up distracting you, okay? I'm sure you won't be a problem. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading in company. It's as if I can feel his presence over my shoulder as I read. It's kind of annoying. It's funny. It's kind of funny that the author of this mod, M.W. Roach. I mean, I made the comment that there are little differences here and there. Like how she just kind of. There's a fair bit of copy paste, but then it just kind of throws a curveball, saying like it's kind of annoying, instead of saying it's enjoyable. Anyway, moving on. But at the same time, it's comforting because I know it's him. I suddenly see Yuri in the corner of my eye. Ah, geez, no wonder I feel like his presence over my shoulder. He's like right there. I realize he's not actually reading from his own book. He's reading from mine. I'm sorry. Looks like I'm the one being distracting. I'm having an unusually difficult time staying focused on my own book. I see what he's getting at. No worries. I have an idea. I saw my desk up against Yuri's and pushed my book between us. This should work, right? A very clever solution indeed. Yuri timidly closes his copy and places it in his bag. Once we each lean in a little bit, I realize that the big guy really is a bit too big for me to see over. What does that mean? His broad shoulders seem to be blocking me out. Is he like hunched over the desk or something? This is gonna take a little extra thought. I slide my leg under me and prop myself up on my knee, and then lean over and rest myself on my elbows. Okay, so she's just kind of short compared to him. You can see the book now. I just have to make sure I don't lean forward any further, or my chest will be pressed against his arm. Are you sure you're comfortable like that? I'll be fine. You don't mind holding the book, right? Not at all. Hey, CG. New artwork. Woo. Yuri opens the book. I squint my eyes a bit. And Marcy says, "Did you know that Natsuki is a male and female name?" Yeah, I've heard that. It's a unisex name in Japan. And another newcomer, Happy Tree Friends Gaming. Welcome. Yeah, we seem to be doing the Yuri route of the Switcheroo mod. Anyway, moving on. It's hard to read that tiny text from so far away. I lean in a bit more, still keeping some space between Yuri's arm and my chest, but now we're huddled even closer than before. It's kind of distracting. It's almost as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and he's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? For me to turn the page? Ah, sorry. I didn't know we didn't know we started. Yeah, we're moving on. I glance over at Yuri and our eyes meet. There's no way I'll be able to keep up with them. Not exactly a speed reader. That's okay. I'm sure the small font isn't helping much, so I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Just let me know when you're ready, okay? Thanks, I appreciate it. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready for him to turn the page. He leaves it open. Hey, another newcomer. Your friendly neighborhood nerd. Hello, nice YouTuber. Hey, welcome to the stream. Yeah, he leaves it open just the right amount of time for me to finish before turning it of his own volition. This line here, I made the comment to MW Roach. This line doesn't work as well. I think I expressed to her that it doesn't work as well as the original. I mean, the original line is. Do you remember me? I'm fun time Ashton. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember from my earlier streams. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done any streaming, and I thought I'd pick it up again with this genderbend mod. It seemed like a good one to get back into this with. Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, the original thing had MC turning the page, quote unquote, of his own volition, and it made sense in that case because Yuri reads faster than him, but gives me just the right amount of time to finish before turning of his own volition. It doesn't seem to work as well. Because like, how does he know that she's finished reading the page? So I got to go. I just came to say hi. Oh, okay. Well, see you around. I mean, the VOD will be up. You can watch it later. I'll try to like I said before, I'll try to do my next stream earlier in the evening. This is kind of late to be doing this. Oh well. What's this? Oh, sorry, I missed a comment. Also look up Natsuki reads a book with you will fall asleep if you listen to it at night if you can't sleep. Okay, that's another thing to keep in mind. I do have issues with insomnia, so it could be good. Anyway, moving on. We continue the first chapter in silence. Hey, Yuri. What's this word mean? I lean in and point to a word I don't recognize. It's being used metaphorically. Effulgent. Yeah, I looked up that word once. I think it means like having a glow about it or something. Anyway. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it means shining brightly or radiant. Okay, that makes sense. The girlfriend of the main character is all bubbly and cheerful, so it fits. That's right. She's a cute character, but I personally prefer the stoic nature of the mysterious girl who lives in the forest. There's a shocker. Oh? Am I really that transparent? About as much as a ghost. Yuri blushes a little. Well, if I can be completely honest, the wild forest girl kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Seriously? It's true. She's blunt, smart, adventurous. She has a very dry wit about her that I find absolutely charming. I see. get the feeling that that last line wasn't referring directly to the character in the book. Yuri the sly one there. I don't understand meaning of Serena's comments there, so I'm just going to move on. I feel my cheeks redden. It's no secret that I like to flirt, but when someone like Yuri flirts back, it's almost more than I can handle. What's this? Tremusa. I look up curiously at Yuri. He suddenly looks very embarrassed. What's gotten into him? Eyes wide as I feel his arm move around beneath me. I look down. I must have become too relaxed because I find myself draped over his arm, leaning on it as though it were a pillow. My chest is right against him. I squeal and leap away. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. It's, please don't worry about it. It's fine. Keeping his head down, he slowly moves his arm off the desk. I can't decide whose face is redder at this point, mine or his. Alright guys, get your poems ready. Might not have time if we don't get started now. Yuri exhales in relief. I'm kind of relieved too, to be honest. What is Charlie? I know some words meant, so I had to point out a word and ask my mom, but instead of walking to her, I would call her on my cell phone. Yeah, I personally, like, when I was I grew up in the 80s. Cell phones didn't exist back then. I had an actual dictionary, like an actual the book dictionary under my bed, which I referred to when if there was a word I didn't understand. And I learned a lot of new words that way. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I'm kind of relieved too, to be honest. That turned very awkward very quickly. Ready, Yuri? I know you probably haven't been looking forward to this, but at least try. Thank you, Matthias. I'm sure I'll be able to do this. Yuri closes the book and pushes it towards me. It seems he still hasn't recovered fully from our little embarrassing scene. I wonder if he'll feel comfortable enough to read with me again tomorrow. I guess I'll do some reading at home tonight. Yes, that would be best. It'll be more fun to read together once the story picks up a bit. I smile a little in relief. A phone called a flip phone? Funny you mentioned that. I actually have a flip phone myself. It's a cheap phone. It's not really the phone that I want. I ordered it, like my old phone died, and I ordered a new one, and I'm waiting for the new one to arrive. And I got this just cheap one to take its place, but it really sucks. I hope I get a new smartphone soon. Dog is insane. Help. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Smile a little in relief. Sound reasoning. In that case, I'll finish the first 2 chapters tonight. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, which I will absolutely forget later, and slip it back into my bag. It reminds me. There was a quote from one of the. I think it was one of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books, where Arthur Dent is he says he then spent 20 minutes reading, 15 minutes of which was spent trying to figure out where he left off last time. Sort of occupational hazard, I guess. I sort of I personally I'm in the habit of just remembering what page I left off on, which doesn't always work as a strategy. I probably should have a bookmark. Oh well. Anyway, hey, another newcomer. What's this? Gear 10 of Red Sand. Welcome. This is not a joke. My dog is literally insane. Okay. I don't know. Get your dog a therapist, I guess. Moving on. By the way, Tormusa, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah, my relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do this. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never done this before. You did? Huh. I'm surprised. Well then, go find someone to share with. Finally! I've been waiting all day for this. Can't wait to see your poem, Termusa. Satori and Matthias enthusiastically pull up their poems. This mod has a habit of having characters spontaneously vanish instead of fading out. It's one of those things that takes a bit of attention to detail. But oh well. Anyway, that sort of aspect of the coding, the posing and the changing expressions and fade-ins and fade-outs and focus changes, it is a bit of a tedious bit of work putting that together. Anyway, and another newcomer, Flip Up Down Boy YT, welcome. Starting to mod this game, being a huge fan of this game, it feels good to see the mods in this community. Yay! Yeah, that's cool. If I'm totally honest, I'm not as into DDLC mods as I used to be, but I don't know. Lately, I've just kind of gotten the itch to be creative and come back to my old projects. Like the mod that I'm currently working on is called Turquoise. It's a Psionica mod. It's going to feature a romantic relationship between Sari and Monica. I actually wrote a good chunk of it like last year and then didn't touch it since. But I decided to pick it up again. I released a demo for it very recently. And I thought, if I'm going to get back into this, maybe I'll stream a mods. And Switcheroo is one of the mods that I was really looking forward to back in the day. And it's been out for almost a year now, and I never got around to it. So this seemed like a good time for it. Anyway, nice to see I've got some audience now. I was a little worried at the beginning of the stream when there was only one person. Anyway, moving on. Satori and Matthias enthusiastically pull out their poems. Satori's is on a wrinkled piece of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Meanwhile, Matthias has written his in a composition notebook. I can already see Matthias' pristine handwriting from where I sit. Of course he has perfect handwriting. Natsuko and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Okay. Oh, hey, new music. I'm gonna save it again. This is I have a song made by Random Encounters that's called Just Monica. Sometimes when I'm bored, I start singing, and when someone asks me who the heck is Monica. Well, I mean, the general public. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I mean, DDLC. It's popular for a visual novel, but the general public isn't even really familiar with visual novels, let alone DDLC. So I imagine it's hard. I mean, not that I go around asking people about it, but it's hard to find people who are into that genre or familiar with DDLC. Also, I'm not in the target demographic, being 40 years old. Anyway, should I just go down the list, or let's just start with Satori. Definitely most comfortable sharing it with Satori first. He's my good friend after all. Termusa, I love you, but this poem is really bad. Oh wow. What the actual hell, man? I mean, I love you too, but damn. It's fine. It's your first time after all. To be honest, I'm just happy that you actually wrote one. Shows that you're taking this seriously. Of course. May not be totally into it yet, but I'm still gonna put in some effort. Well, it definitely shows. You didn't have to do this, I mean, we both know why you decided to join, but it seems like you're really putting your effort into writing, and I appreciate that. It's true that I initially joined this club in the hopes of getting to know the others, but I'd be lying if I said Satori had nothing to do with it. Theory mind. Okay, moving on. This club does mean a lot to him after all. And don't worry, I'll keep my word to help you impress whoever you're interested in. That'll be my way of thanking you. I'm gonna hold you to that. Deal. Anyway, want to read my poem now? I'm not very good at this. I'll be the judge of that. Well, hey, here we go. Morning person. Oh, hey, we're back to classic music. Classic DDLC music. Although I kind of wonder. I kind of wonder if Roach maybe just neglected to edit that bit of the programming from the original game, because it is designed to fade into Satori's version of the "Okay Everyone" song. Yeah, my first mod, which is Monica After Story, and if you don't know about this mod, it basically takes place at the end of the game. No spoilers, but it is awesome if you've never played it. I have played Monica After Story, or at least a very early version of it. I never really got into it, but I'm aware of it. I'm familiar with it. I mean, it's one of the first mods made in the community. So I think everyone's aware of it, really. Some people are kind of scarily into it, like to the point of just making casual references to their interaction with Monica as though she's a real person and not mentioning that they're talking about a mod. I've lost count a long time ago of the number of times I've seen posts in the r/DDLC mods subreddit of people asking for advice about Monica, and they don't actually say in the Monica After Story mod. They just take it for granted that everyone automatically knows what mod they're talking about. It's I don't know. It feels a bit weird to me. I probably makes you sound terribly judgmental. I'm sorry. To each their own. But yeah, it's not really my thing. I have played a bunch of mods. I've played like I don't know, like 30 something mods, I guess. But yeah, that was really early on. There was a time when I played like practically every mod on the mod list, but that was when there were like only 30 of them there to begin with. Now there are like a couple hundred, and I've just sort of fallen behind in that. I was trying to put Monica on USB, and I think I'm going insane. I don't know. Everyone needs a hobby. Anyway, let's read this poem. Morning person. Good morning. How are you? I hope that you slept well. Let's see a smile on your face. This is the kind of person I wish I was in the morning, but I'm not. Because I'm not a morning person. Good morning? Whatever. I couldn't sleep all night. How can I wake up with a smile when the first thing I want to do is fight? I wish I was a morning person, but I guess I'm just a grumpy Gus. I wish I could wake up with a warm feeling, but the first thing out of my mouth is a cuss. No point in complaining, though. Sleep will have to wait. I'm up now. Time for breakfast. Yeah, there's some rhyme in there. Oops. Satori, when did you write this? It's a secret? You wrote this just this morning, didn't you? No. Maybe a little bit? You can't answer a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night, but hey, I try my best. Well, truthfully, it is pretty good for something that was thrown together in 5 minutes. I like how you have bits that rhyme and bits that don't. That's pretty cool. It does make me wonder what you can write if you actually took the time to think about it first. Well, I happen to write better when I do it last minute than when I sit to think about it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is something to be said for having a deadline and a time crunch, having that pressure of last minute panic. I mean, I don't know if that's the best way to do things, but like, oh well. Moving on. Well, that sounds like something that would work for you. This poem is all you, in fact, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast before I came to get you. Ah, that's why we got to school later than usual. It's bad to skip breakfast. You know it makes me cranky. Yeah, because you never have cranky days on a full stomach. Anyway, thanks for sharing your poem with me. Wasn't this fun? Really glad Matthias came up with this idea. Yeah. He's the best. Like, I get the feeling that italicized best is a little sarcastic there. And tomorrow I'm going to write the best poem ever. Satori seems too excited about his writing to pick up on my sarcasm here. Okay, but if it sucks, I get to ridicule you harshly. That's not... Satori, chill, I'm just messing with you. Man, it's hard to tell with you sometimes. I'm sure whatever you write will be awesome, and I look forward to reading it. And now on to Natsuko. Are you taking this club seriously? Of course I am. Right. Exactly how much effort did you put into this? A lot, actually. Hey, it's cool. You're not a writer. I get it. Cheer up. I'm sure you'll improve eventually. I point out what you needed to work on, but you're better off just trying again from scratch. Fair enough. To each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I better show you my poem now. I know you're going to really like it, but try to contain yourself. Cars can race. Dogs can sniff and dogs can bark. Cats can see in the dark. Lions roar to show their king. Bees possess a painful sting. Sharks can swim and can attack. Cars can race around a track. Amazing creatures, amazing things. See them all around you. Would they be just as impressed to see the things that you do? You think you're just as good. You're not the type to quit. I suppose it couldn't hurt to try, but really, that's about it. It's neat. I like the adaptations of the original poems, like I'm like drawing a blank on the title of a series' original poem. There's Eagles Can Fly for this one, and anyway, moving on. Impressive, right? Well, it's kind of dumb. Yeah, I knew you'd love it. Most everyone in high school thinks writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people usually don't take my writing seriously, but you seem like the type who understands how effective simple writing can be. Well, the point of writing is for people to express themselves. A person's writing style wouldn't make their message any less valid. Yes, exactly. Knew you'd understand. I like when something is easy to read, but it hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Wait, this poem is actually about something? The other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight in the wordplay, and to me nothing brings out a feeling like poems that rhyme. I reread the poem, fascinated. Now that I know the thought process behind it, I can definitely see the message. I'm actually kind of amazed I missed it the first time. So you did. Wow, more went into this than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Glad I was able to teach you something. Bet you didn't expect that from me, did you? I guess not. Thank you for the lesson. I decided to humor him with that last comment. I'm not sure what he meant by that. But if Natsuko's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from him. Okay, see you later, Happy Tree Friends Gaming. Have a good evening. Or day, or whatever time of day, whatever time it is. Anyway, moving on to Yuri. Here we go. As he reads through my poem, I notice his eyes lighten. Exceptional. Yeah? Do you really think so? I didn't mean for that to come off as creepy or anything. No, I'm super happy that you like it. Well, in that case, I'm very impressed, Tormusa. What kind of experience do you have? Your use of metaphors and imagery indicate that you've done a lot of writing before. That's a really huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time writing. Yuri looks at me quizzically before looking over my poem again. Interesting. Yuri traces the words of my poem with his finger as if breaking it down more thoroughly. The thing is, there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. Having been through that myself, I've learned how to pick up on them. See, new writers try to make their style more deliberate, often picking a subject matter different from the style and then just form-fitting them together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds his train of thought, his demeanor does a complete 180. His stammering disappears and he sounds more like a teacher than a student. Now, this is not something you can be blamed for, of course. There are many techniques that can go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. All of this comes with practice, learning from example, and trying new things. That's why I thought you were experienced, because I see none of these mistakes in your poem. Probably just beginner's luck. Please don't be disappointed if tomorrow's doesn't come out as good. It's okay. You're new, so I expect you to try new things. Receiving valuable feedback from everyone else will influence you as well. Natsuko can be a bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, I suppose you'll see what I mean eventually. Alright. That was weird. I wonder what he has against Natsuko. So how about I check out your poem now? Yes, of course. I would love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as he hands me his poem. He's actually really handsome when he smiles. He seems so serious all the time. I doubt he's as happy about anything very often. Here we go. Thirst. My mouth is parched. Desperate, I must rehydrate. I take a glass from the cupboard. I open the icebox, shrinking away from the artificial light. I reach for a pitcher of water. I close the door and relish the return of the dark. I fill my glass and drink. Still thirsty, I fill the glass again. Then once more. I empty the pitcher. I remain unsatisfied. I refill the pitcher only to drain it again. Every sip only leaves me thirstier, insatiable. I must replenish or go insane. Candle on the table. Matchbox in my hand. The flame flickers. I flicker back. At last my thirst is quenched. Now this is bigger departure from the original poem that would have fit here in the original game, the Goes Into the Light. Yeah, there's more foreshadowing going on here. I mean, as I mentioned before, I read early draft of the script, so I know what this is about. But so I'm gonna have to. I want to avoid spoilers. So I want to avoid giving spoilers. So I'm just gonna move on past that. Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry if you have any trouble reading my handwriting. Do you not just see my handwriting? I'm surprised you were able to read it. Your penmanship is perfect. Don't even worry about that. Well, thank you. It's just, it took you a long time to read it. Well, maybe I was just rereading it a few times because I really liked it. Have you considered that? Yuri's face turns beet red. He quickly looks away, laughing nervously. There's no way you could think that. Well, I do. I really like your poem, Yuri. I like the imagery and the atmosphere. I like how it made me feel while I was reading it. And I really like how it was short yet descriptive. It wasn't too short, was it? I usually prefer shorter poems, but can write a longer one next time if you prefer. I could make a dirty joke right now, but I'm bigger than that. Obligatory. So is Yuri. No, just kidding. Moving on. Not at all. I'm really happy that you liked it. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. So it'll be there in about an hour or so. Before you go to bed, so I can go to the store and get it? What? I'm sorry, I'm having trouble making sense of your comments, Serena. I'm just going to ignore it and move on. Tell me more about this metaphorical thirst in your story. What are you thirsty for? Uh-oh, that could be a loaded question. Well, I suppose the answer could be interpreted in many ways. You as the reader can feel free to look into it as you'd like. Okay, fine. Don't tell me what it's about. You sure know a lot about writing. I'm very impressed. It's nothing really. Sorry, it's nothing really, but it does make me happy that you think that. Remember, it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Well, I'm feeling very inspired by your feedback, so I'll be sure to apply it to my next poem. I'm excited to hear that. I look forward to seeing what you've learned. And then there's Matthias. So, Tormiusa, having fun so far? Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it's good then. By the way, since you're new and all, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, maybe new activities or things we can improve on, remember, I'm always listening. Uh-oh, that always listening comment. So don't be afraid to bring things up. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I am better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in, but now that I have the go-ahead to speak up about things, I'm probably going to when I can. Anyway, do you want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but it's what I agreed to. Yeah, incidentally, if Matthias is offering the comment that he's inviting feedback, I'd be tempted to make a comment about how discouraging he was being in the first day, but whatever. Anyway, moving on. Kind of embarrassing, but it's what I agreed to. Oh, I'm sure it's very embarrassing, but don't worry, I won't hold it against you. Thanks. I hand the horse's ass my poem. Matthias chuckles softly to himself. Do you like it? Tormiusa, your handwriting is atrocious. It's hardly legible. Tell me, were you holding the pencil with your feet? Okay, I get it. I'll work on my handwriting. Jeez. You don't have to be such a jerk about it. Matthias chuckles again, a bit louder this time. His smug attitude only pissed me off even more. Actually, it would be a great poem if your handwriting weren't so distractingly bad. I wasn't expecting you to go for something so deep. I'm impressed. Well, crappy handwriting aside, I guess my effort kind of blew away your low expectations, didn't it? Alright, don't get too proud of yourself. It's a pretty good poem. From the small assembly of letters I could actually decipher as words, it sounds like something Yuri would like. He loves writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. His style leads readers to derive their own meaning out of it. It's actually very challenging to write like that effectively. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. But you seem to be a bit of a natural. Well, I mean, I'm sure I'm nowhere near his level yet. I agree. I was just going to say, unexpected compliment from Matthias. Anyway, your use of imagery may be impressive, but you still obviously have a lot to learn. You're not a lost cause just yet. I definitely plan on trying different things. It will take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. But rest assured, I am not a lost cause. Good to hear. I want to see you try new things. That is the best way to find the kind of style that suits you, after all. Don't force yourself to write the way everyone wants you to write. I mean, it's not like you have to worry about impressing them. Right? Oh, what's this? Is that a blush from Matthias here? Right. Anyway, are you ready to read my poem now? Yeah, looking forward to it. You sound thrilled. I mean, we both know you're going to make me look like we both know you're going to make me look like an untalented hack, so I'm sorry I'm not leaping for joy at that opportunity. It's not my fault you choose to see it that way. Whatever, let's see it already. Looking out. I didn't do that. It wasn't there when I left either. Someone else must have done it. It's just a little hole. Illumination pours through. Curiosity tells me to take a peek. Existential fear keeps me from succumbing to curiosity. For weeks, I ignore the hole in the wall. I occasionally glance at it, but I will not look inside. What am I afraid of? I hear things coming from the other side. Terrible screeching sounds, flashing lights. Time goes on. My curiosity becomes hungrier. I warn myself to not look inside. I tell myself I won't like what I will see. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Finally, I can take no more. The curiosity consumes me. I cave in and peek inside. There you are. I see you, peeking back at me. Easy. There's a lot of endings, so you may need to make a follow-up stream. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, so we're playing on Matteo, the Monica stand-in, being self-aware and being aware it's a game and looking out at the player. So that whole thing is going on here again. Moving on. So what do you think? Speechless, I see. It's strange. Very freeform, if that's what you call it. Please don't act like you have something constructive to say. We both know you're not there yet. This is so condescending. Well, what do you want from me? It's a weird poem. I can't even fathom what it could possibly be about. Yeah, well, I guess you can say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. Might even say it's making them weird. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Like what kind of epiphany? Well, don't worry about it. It's not important at this point. It'll all make sense later. Aha, there you go. Yeah, okay then. I guess I'm expected to just ignore that weirdness. So does that mean we're done? No, I think so. Unless you want something else. I mean, I didn't really learn anything from you. Oh, is that so? Look, you said I should let you know if I have any suggestions for things you can do better, right? Well, how about give me some helpful writing tips? This way I can walk away with at least some useful knowledge after each of these sessions. Matthias considers my idea for a moment. You might be right. As president, I should offer more advice than the others. All right then. Here's Matthias' writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on the specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper, then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. What if I'm using a pencil? So just move your hand and go with the flow. I like how he just completely ignores what FemC said and just plows on. Anyway, and that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, I need to go use the washroom, so I'll be right back. I wonder if, I don't have my little "be right back" sign. I'll just put that together later. I don't know. I'll be right back. Alright, back again. Wanted to make music go hard though. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was hydrated and refreshed for the. I'm sure that this is where the fight between Yuri and Natsuko is going to happen. Alright, here we go. Guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That wasn't as stressful as I had anticipated. I learned what I already knew. My writing abilities are mediocre at best. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs, but I still enjoy getting to know everyone and learning about their own techniques. Notice across the room, Satori and Matthias are chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuko. They exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I notice each of their expressions change. Natsuko's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. I perk up. I have the feeling that something interesting is about to go down. I'm noticing there are a few instances of the expressions not matching up to the description. He's not smiling. Anyway, moving on. What's this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuko dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Oh, snap. Shorty's triggered. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? Is that what that was? I guess I can see that now. But the language... Yuri struggles to explain his critique while trying to remain as polite as possible. Yeah? What about it? Well, if I may offer a couple suggestions. Oh, Marcy's back. Welcome. Welcome back. If I may offer a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually likes it. Which people did, by the way. Satori liked it, and Tormusa did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time developing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Tormusa liked my poem too, by the way. She even said she was impressed by it. Natsuko smirks and leans back in his chair, propping his feet up on the desk. Uh-oh. Were you about to get a rock remix of the Poem Panic song? Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in impressing our new member, Yuri. Yuri suddenly stands up. Oh boy, things are getting real. Perhaps you're just jealous that Tormusa appreciates the advice of a mature individual more than she appreciates the views of a child. I'm the child. Are you that full of yourself? Besides, how do you know she didn't appreciate my advice more? I don't think I like where this is going. I look away, trying to focus on something else. Maybe if I look over here, they won't notice me. Full of myself, am I? You're the one who goes out of his way to make everything you do overly masculine, as though you're compensating for something. What, with that ponytail? Oh my god. Natsuko suddenly stands up. And just what the hell is that supposed to mean? You know what it means. Well, you know what? I'm not the one who started stuffing his pants with socks as soon as Tormusa started showing up. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Natsuko. Suddenly both guys turn towards me as if they just noticed I was sitting there. Damn it, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Now I just have to avoid staring at Yuri's crotch. Excuse me. And I already failed. Sorry. It's funny. Moving on. Luckily, he's too distracted to notice. Are you sure about that? Sorry, my throat's rough all of a sudden. Trying to keep hydrated during this. I'm going to be wrapping it up at the end of this this in-game day anyway. Seems like a good time to end the stream. Excuse me. Anyway, look like he's distracted to notice. Tormusa, he's lying. He just wants to make you look bad. That's not true. He started it. If he could get over himself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. I mean, what even is the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force him to try and figure it out. How me explain that to him, Tormusa? Hold on. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey feeling and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Tormusa? Whoa. Well. Why the hell did they go and drag me into this? I don't even know anything about writing. I mean, whoever I agree with will definitely think more highly of me. So of course it's going to be... Oh, it's another choice. So yeah, keeping with the theme, I'll probably go with Yuri again. Yeah, let's go with Yuri. Natsu, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Hold on. That's no excuse for you to be so mean. Why pick a fight with someone just because their opinion is different from yours? That's his fault. He wouldn't even take my poem seriously. Ugh, why do I have to be the one to handle this? This is remix of what's this song called? Is it Daijibo or something like that? I'm probably mispronouncing that. It's the title of the song. Yeah, they really did remixes of all the songs, didn't they? Anyway, I look around for support, but Satori and Matthias are just standing there staring at me. Clearly, they're not going to be of any help. All right, I turn to Yuri. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed by your poem too, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsu felt provoked when he said his poem was cute. I see. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. And Natsu, next time keep the critique helpful and literature related. No need for the personal insults. Are you kidding me? He's the one who threw the first insult. Natsu does have a point there. I glance over at Yuri. I did, didn't I? I'm so sorry for that, Natsuko. Please forgive me. Well, I think we can agree you both said some things neither of you meant. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too, Natsu? Natsuko growls and clenches his fists. I'm fine. I'm sorry, okay? Natsuko drops back into his seat, crossing his arms in defiance. I look across the room. Yuri walks over to his desk and sits down with his chin resting in his hand. I gingerly approach him and sit in the adjacent seat. You alright, big guy? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You must think I'm a pretentious cad. Of course not. It could have been worse. You handled it as well as anyone could. I could have handled it better. I should have handled it better. I know better. Don't beat yourself up. You apologize. That was big of you. It says a lot about your character. I'm impressed. Do you mean that? Of course I do. You believe me, right? Yes, I believe you. Thank you, Tormusa. I'm really happy you joined the club. I'm happy to be here. Also, that one thing Nazca said about, it's completely untrue. I start to travel south, but I instantly force them back up to Yuri's face. Don't respond to something stupid. Don't respond to something stupid. I know. I can tell. Why are words allowed to escape my face? Marcia, I'm about to head back to bed. Yeah, same here. I'm just about to wrap this up. I just want to get to the end of the in-game day. Moving on. Well, I'm going to go make some tea. Yuri quickly stands up and scurries away. I sigh and bury my face in my hands. Man, that really was something, wasn't it? I slowly pick up my head and shoot an enraged glare at Satori's clueless face. You suck. Satori jumps back in surprise. What did I do? Not a damn thing. That's the problem. You saw what was going on, you just stood there like a lump. What kind of vice president are you? I look at Matthias, who's standing a few feet away. And you, Captain Useless. Where the hell were you, huh? I beg your pardon? You heard me. There's such a huge conflict in the club, and neither you nor Satori put any effort into stopping it. You guys are supposed to be the leaders. That means putting your foot down when the situation calls for it. You don't leave that responsibility to the newest member. Wow. Go Tormusa. It's empty, so I can't miss your empty NPCs. I mean, I can't really promise I'll stream it. We'll see. I mean, I do have other games lined up that I've been meaning to get to that I wanted to play. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, wow. Go FemC, like actually standing up for herself. That's kind of cool. See, like I said, I mean, I like the fact that you know, she's an actual character as opposed to the original MC, who just kind of goes along with anything and everything that's going on around him, and just mostly just reacting to things. So this is neat. Anyway, moving on. Satori looks away, clearly embarrassed. Matthias glares at me for a moment. Then, to my surprise, he averts his gaze and drops the scowl. I suppose you might have a point. Perhaps I should have interjected. I'm sorry, I should have been paying attention. Tell you what, if I have to learn to be a poet, then you two need to learn to be better leaders. Deal? You got a deal, Tormusa. I look at Matthias skeptically. And what about you? Rest assured, I will be taking control from now on. Uh-oh. Considering he's the Monica stand-in, that's a little ominous, actually. Moving on. I suppose I owe you my gratitude for your surprisingly enlightening advice. Matthias smiles at me. My stomach knots up. Well, why does he have to be so dashing? It's fine. Alright guys, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? I had fun. I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Tormusa, how about you? Oh hey, another newcomer. Lots of newcomers to my stream audience tonight. Jay Scars, welcome. We're very close to the end of the stream though. But anyway, moving on. Tormusa, how about you? Well, it started off slow, but then it got interesting. It's a cool thing to discuss with everyone too. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from everyone today too. I expect to see significant improvement from you tomorrow. I did learn a lot from everyone here today. Enough at least to impress who I want to impress. And with Satori as my wingman, I'm confident I can do this. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Tormusa, ready to walk home? Yep, let's head out. Satori beams at me. It's nice to be able to walk home from school together like we used to. And Marcy says, I'm gonna go to bed, I'm just so tired. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Marcy. Thanks for, yeah. Thanks for sticking it out even though it's so late for you. Anyway, moving on. Nice to be able to walk home together. Hey, Satori. Yeah? About what happened earlier, that fight between Natsu and Yuri, does that happen often? I've never seen them act like that. I mean, it's not unusual for guys to show off when they're around a cute girl. Oh, so I'm getting the blame for this. Yep, it's your fault. Your hotness is tearing this club apart. You both get a chuckle out of that one. Nah, they really are good guys. Please don't hate them. I don't hate them. It's true, they didn't exactly score points with me by dragging me into their fight, but I won't hold it against them. I was just wondering if it's common for them to fight, that's all. I trust that they're good people if you think so highly of them. That's a relief. I like seeing you get along with everyone. I can tell you're having fun. I am having fun. Thanks for helping me out with that. Of course. Tomorrow's going to be even better. And remember, if you like Yuri, you might want to consider writing poetry with big expressive words or dark themes. That'll really make him happy. I smile. So wonderful having Satori support my little scheme here. Thanks for the advice. Let's see what tomorrow holds. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, seems to be a good note to end on. I like this song. I like the remix of the poem writing song. Anyway, yeah, that's the first 2 in-game days of Doki Doki Switcheroo. You know, promising start. I mean, I knew it was like I said, I knew what it was going to be like going into it because I had done the proofreading, but it is neat to see. It's just neat to see it all come together with the visuals and the music and so on. It's cool. I'm liking the work that went into this. So yeah. I'm not very good at having a regular schedule for this sort of thing, but I'll lately I seem to be alternating between putting videos up for 3 different games, so I'll probably do my next stream in a few days, and I'll try to do it earlier next time. We'll see how that goes. I'm not very good at planning these things out. Oh well.